Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. I'm Emily, as you guys already know. Today we're just gonna jump right into it. Today we're gonna be talking about a story in the Bible, and I'm just gonna paraphrase it for you guys. So in this story, there's a paralyzed man, right? And his friends bring him to Jesus. But in the place where Jesus is, it is crowded, right? There's a whole bunch of people there. He's paralyzed. He's on a stretcher with his four friends, and they can't get through the crowd to get to Jesus. So they climb on top of the roof, cut a hole somehow, and they lower him down, and Jesus sees him, like they lower him to Jesus, and Jesus heals him. You know, thinking of that story, I just want to emphasize a couple of things. His disability was that he was paralyzed, and you know, we've all been there before. Obviously, we haven't all been physically disabled, but there are certain things in our lives that try to come to paralyze us, to stop us, to keep us from getting to Jesus. So this man, what kept him from getting to Jesus was that he couldn't walk. He was paralyzed. He couldn't do it on his own, right? Which is why he needed the help of his friends. And in thinking that, I thought, like, what are some things that have kept me from Jesus, right? And I'll tell you what it is right now. So looking back, what had kept me from Jesus for a very long time was my inability to speak up, right? And so you're probably thinking, like, how does that even relate, right? How does that keep you from Jesus? And it was like, it kept me paralyzed. Like, I literally didn't feel like I can speak up. I didn't feel like my voice mattered. I was so afraid of my own voice. And I learned that very early on. I learned it for as long as I can remember. Like, I was so afraid of my voice. I was so afraid of speaking up, like to the point where calling and ordering Chinese food would give me so much anxiety. And this was like me at like 9, 10 years old, you know? And so this kept me from Jesus when I came to the Lord, because I didn't know how to speak. I didn't know how to communicate with God, and I didn't know how to, like, have that relationship that I wanted to build with him, because it was like I was afraid. Like, I was so afraid of speaking up. I was so afraid of saying what I had to say. I was so afraid of doing certain things, because I just didn't know how to use my voice. That was what kept me paralyzed, right? And granted, it's not something physical. It's not something that you can actually see, but it's something internal that kept me from the Lord. Another thing that I can think of is, like, my thoughts. You know, I didn't feel like I was good enough or worthy enough to come to Jesus and just be like, okay, here it is all. And granted, I knew God very early on and all of this, but there was that little, like, thing in me that was like, oh, you're, like, not worthy of this, you know? And so that kept me paralyzed. That kept me stuck. That kept me in a certain place for a very long time. So we're gonna put this right here for a minute. And you know, this was my disability. This is what kept me paralyzed. This is what kept me from going further in God, or fully diving in or seeking him and grabbing onto everything that he had for me, right? And so I want you guys to think, what's your disability? What's something that may keep you back or has kept you back from the things that God has for you, from the things that God wants for you, right? I just want you guys to think about that for a sec. And this man, he ministers to me so much, because I'm like, yo, first of all, that's crazy. How do you even, I have so many questions. Like, how did you even get up on the roof? Like, how did you manage to make a hole on the roof? And, like, what? When did you guys come up with this plan? How did nobody see you guys? Okay, whatever. Point is, tons of questions. But that's not the point. Second of all, everybody needs friends like this. Like, everyone needs friends like this guy's friends. This guy's friends are the real MVP. Like, they literally were like, nope, you're here, Jesus right there. You have a need. We're gonna go figure it out together. And I love that. Like, that's what community is about. That's really what why we need each other. And that's a whole other thing. Anyways, back to the point. The point is that we have a choice to make. Do we want to live with our tape, with our disability, with the things that paralyze us, or do we want the freedom that Jesus has for us, right? And if your answer is, I want the freedom that Jesus has for me, then there's something that is required of us, right? There's something that we have to do, right? That man, he had to get his friends. He had to be like, yo, I need your help. Let's go, right? And they had to go over there and they had to do all these things, right? There was something that they had to do, right? And so there's something that we have to do with when we make that choice. It takes us finding our way to the Father no matter the crowd, and literally seeing the crowd and not giving up. Like, this man, like, he had to be desperate to not want to be paralyzed anymore. I'm sure he was, because he saw the obstacle, and yet they were still like, no, we're not, like, this is not gonna be it. Like, we're not taking this as an answer. And I love that. That's so, like, courageous. That's so hungry. Like, he had this hunger for God that he was like, I don't care what's in front of me. I don't care about the crowd. I don't care if I can't get through. I'm gonna find a way through, right? And so in thinking about acquiring this freedom, it's like we have to have that same mentality. Like, I don't care what I have to go through, but Jesus, I want what you have. Like, I know that you can heal me. I know that you can do this. I know that I don't have to live with this thing that keeps me paralyzed. And once we do that, this happens. We're able to step into what he has. We're able to step into the thing that we weren't able to see before. And so, like, our disability, the thing that keeps us paralyzed, keeps us in a certain place. But once we get to Jesus, he's like, okay, pick up your mat and go, you know? And I love that it's so simple to him. Like, he was just like, oh, okay, pick up your mat and go. And that's it. The man stood up and he walked away. And it's like, what? It literally just takes us getting to Jesus, getting through the crowd at whatever cost, right? To get rid of our disability, to get rid of the things that paralyze us, that leave us stuck, that stop us in our tracks. And you know what? If we want to get deeper, if we want more of God, if we want what he has for us, which is way better than what we have for us, then it takes us standing up and making that choice to be like, no, I'm going to go after you. Like, it takes a certain kind of hunger for God to literally just be like, I don't care. I don't care what people are saying. I don't care what people might say. I don't care what I look like. I'm sure they look crazy going up that roof. But you know what? They were like, I don't care. I want Jesus more. Like, I care about having Jesus more. I know that he has something for me. I know that there is healing in him, and I want that, you know. And so it just takes that mindset. So I encourage you guys, get through the crowd, get to Jesus, and get up and walk, boo. Kiss the tape goodbye. Remember, you are known and loved. Adventure awaits your yes. And every day's a Sunday. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, follow us on our Instagram page, all that good stuff. We love you, love you, love you. Until next time.